Good people, we're doing fine. Today I want to trigger our minds. I want to trigger our goals. I want to trigger ourselves that you should not be found playing small when you are supposed to play higher like eagles. You see, you do not need to have the small minds of the locusts when you are supposed actually to have the big gold minds of a lion. Now, today I want to challenge us. I will give 5 questions that will drive you to once getting better. Remember, it is about personal growth, it is about personal development, it is about becoming better for tomorrow and in future and our future. Therefore, the question number one is, have you had a situation? Have you had someone? Have you had a place you've gone? Have you had a book you've read? Have you ever had a tool, an equipment, and you felt that you wish you would want to have such a book? You would want to be the author of such a book? You would want to own such an equipment or such a tool? You would want probably to use such channel for movement. For instance, you will want to use a plane to go from Kenya to Dubai. You would want even to go to Ethiopia, for instance. Now, this is the first step of getting better. This is the first step of drawing your goals, of realizing you can have vision in yourself. You can have a goal that you need to plan and move to. This is the first point you have to get to. There's no way you will achieve 800 meters run if you never ask your question, have you seen somebody done it and they have achieved it and how they have achieved it? So the first question I would wish that you ask yourself is, do I have someone, something, event, a place I admire, I wish that I want to go to? The question number 2, what exactly creates that interest? What exactly makes you have that interest to either desire to go to place, to own an estate, to be the leader you want to be? What are the interests? Of course, I know the first interest is self, becoming better. But there is a meaningful purpose. There's a meaningful reason why you should desire becoming better. And I want to draw you to the book of Genesis 1:28. It talks about be fruitful. God said to them, be fruitful, to them who? Adam and Eve, be fruitful, the first human beings, as illustrated in the Bible, Genesis. Be fruitful and productive. Subdue the earth and fill the earth. You see, you are supposed to be productive. You are supposed to be fruitful and to subdue the earth. But as you subdue, remember, you are supposed to impact many other people in the different dimension, because everyone is a seed that seed has a specific purpose. So why is it that you want to have on that airplane company? It's because you want to impact people so that they can do trade. Why do you want to be the best author of our time, of your generation? It's because you want to leave something behind. Someone will read and they will trigger their potential out of them. That is the second question. The third question how. You ask yourself how. How are you going to work onto that? Because it is great to note that it takes time for you to realize a goal. And so you need to ask yourself, how are you going to go from point A to B? How are you going to buy a land and to bring a mansion in that land? You need to ask yourself this question. And so you can decide that you want to either get a job, you want to become a salesperson of company 1, 2, 3, you want to become you want to save your coins like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a year. You want to have achieved gathering or mobilizing the materials. And from probably the next year, you can think of something. How? How are you going to move to that point? You have to answer that question. Yeah? And once you answer the questions of how, now you have to ask yourself what it takes. And what it takes is you and other people. It takes you and other people. And what you're supposed to understand is you have to be clear that this time around, you are not going to be comfortable at where you are. You have to be concise. Specifically, I am going to work on bringing up a mansion for my mom. I'm going to work to buy a land where I can start a farm. You have to be concise, and you have to commit that whatever it will take, regardless of the hours, if it is to once going to my goal, if it is waking up and writing application letter and following up on these application letters, if it has to do with sitting down, practicing alone in my room for 200 times for presentation, for public speaking, then I am going to be so committed, because you have to be committed. If it will take me going out and taking a breath so that I can refresh my mind and come back and sit down and read a book and listen to audio and to develop my communication skills, then that is what I'm going to do. You have to be so committed. Yeah. And the last one, you have to decide that what days it will take. You will need to be so consistent that you will not leave this one, even if it takes you the next 5 years. You are not going to leave this one at the middle and go to a different dimension. Yeah? You are not going to get distracted. Your goal remains the path. Yeah? And once you have answered those questions, the next big thing you do to yourself is start now. You do not draw a goal and want to come tomorrow and execute. You have to finish drawing it. So purposefully start now. Even if it means identifying your 2,000 that you have in your bag and deciding, I am taking 1,000 and throwing it into my savings. You have to start right away, because there's no achievement without implementation. You can research, you can imagine, you can have the best plan ever. But if you do not execute, if you do not act on it, I am sorry, it might not work. So today, those are critical questions that you need to ask yourself. And remember, you're doing this for yourself and to be a tree that produces results. We will be happy seeing your results. You will be satisfied and fulfilled seeing the results. You start today and we will appreciate you. This is the optimist Dominic Gitonga.